Okay, so we are going to roll out our clay and then use our letter stencil to cut out the clay in the shape of our letter. To do that, we're going to roll out our clay, but you cannot roll it out directly on the table because if you do, it will get stuck. So we have a cloth, and here's my clay. You want the clay to be about the thickness of a pencil. If it's thinner than a pencil, it's going to be too thin to work with. But you definitely don't want it thicker than your thumb. If it's getting to that size, that's going to be hard to work with too. So I'm rolling my clay out. I take my letter. I'm going to carefully trace with a pencil first. I'm not trying to cut it all at once. I'm just tracing around it. Tracing around it so that it actually has a nice line. So see how I messed up that line? I'm going to want to fix that. So I'm just going to redraw over it. After I trace neatly, so my letter's on the clay now. That's why we made those stencils. Okay? Now I'm going to take a knife. We have a few of these metal knives that work well, but the plastic ones work just as well. When I'm cutting this, I am taking my time. Because you can wreck it if you don't take your time, and then you're going to have to start all over again. Okay, so I'm finished making my last cuts. And then your best bet is to remove the extra clay. We're going to use this extra clay to make my animals, so I'm not going to mess it up because I might want some of the flat pieces. That way I don't have to roll it out again. So I'm just going to pull that out. Okay, my next step is to smooth the edges. Because these edges, if you don't smooth them out, when it dries and I fire it and it becomes your ceramic glass, it's going to be so sharp it'll cut you. Okay? So you need to make sure you are going in here and smoothing out the edges. Okay, I'm going to keep working on this. But do you see how all my edges are smooth? Okay, now would be time to start adding your pieces to make your animal. So I have already made a P, the letter P, and I am going to add, I made this little penguin and I'm going to add him. So the way I did that is, I'm going to make 3 penguins on this. I just kind of rolled the ball and got him the shape I wanted the penguin. I'm not making a full sculpture of penguin because then he'd be too fat and wouldn't sit on the letter well. So I'm just going to do a little shape like this on the top of my P for my last penguin, I think. I don't know. So I'm going to attach the little feet. I'm going to make sure I score. Okay, so I have my little feet. I'm going to score it up here. I'm going to attach him at the top. I'm going to make sure he's not stuck to the board. Okay? I'm going to attach my other little penguin here. Got to fix his arm first. And I can use my pencil is a really good tool to make little lines and details. Okay. He is going to go right here on the bottom. Okay, make sure, here, I'm going to do this last thing. Oh, I guess I'm filled. Okay, so I'm going to make sure any little details I want drawn in. I'm going to make sure I need 2 little beaks and a couple of wings, and then I think I'm done. And that's the finished letter with my penguins.